just watched the series final of season 12 of Doctor Who. So what did you? What did you think?
Honestly, my honest opinion is how long has it been since that actually aired?
I think April or May of this year.
Yeah, so that's been like half a year or something.
Almost,
How long has it been? I've heard so much negativity and like everyone's hated it, and I haven't, like, luckily I've stayed away from spoilers, which I think is actually mental. But because I had such low expectations, I don't give a shit. I honestly don't care. Like, okay, like, honestly, my expectations were so low that it's not as bad as I thought it would be.
Really?
Yeah, they gave a really shite explanation of the Time Lords. But it's just like, okay. I mean, but because I don't care about Doctor Who anymore, I don't care.
Yeah. I gotta say, I don't mind certain bits of it in concept, because when part 1 started and you saw just all these flashbacks to this young boy called Brian and his life growing up, I actually didn't mind that.
What was that?
The implication is that it was basically a filter in the Matrix to cover up the Doctor's true origins, and the idea at least is that that's maybe what the Doctor's childhood was, his first childhood was, maybe.
Oh.
And
What?
Yeah, and I actually kind of don't mind that.
I don't like it.
Because here's the thing, I think, in another story, this could have worked if it was just the origins of the Timeless Child, not the Doctor.
Yeah, because then it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, because not only does it keep the Doctor's past intact, but it gives us more light into Time Lords. Because let's face it, if we were going to discover some more stuff about the Doctor's past, why not do it on the Time Lords first? And that's not something too drastic. So we've learned bits and bobs here and there about their lore beforehand in the classic series. So by all means, it's good to shed more light on it. And I don't mind the idea of, they found this ancient being that basically set the catalyst for the Time Lords.
Yeah,
but the fact that they made it the Doctor is just so annoying, because one, it's cliche, you're the chosen one. Two, it takes away from the Doctor's own backstory, because the entire point, I mean, they already kind of messed with this in Hellbent. Fucking piece of shit that is. but this one sets it in stone, because the entire point of the Doctor's backstory from the classic series was that he was just a normal Gallifreyan who grew up
and run away.
Bored. He wanted to explore the universe, so he wanted to travel. That's so good. It's simple, but it's understandable. And
it's not like, I mean, he's a Time Lord and they're amazing, but he's not like the best person ever created on Gallifrey. He's just like a pleb.
He just happened to be a traveller who got caught up in events, and his goodwill has basically saved countless people. Hence, he's become a legend. But now, she's this ancient. Yeah, she's this ancient being from God knows where, from an alternative universe or a dimension.
Oh yeah, I don't even know where she's from.
Yeah, and that's the frustrating thing, because how kind of, at least from the bit, it's been a while since I did research for this, but the implication that the reason Chibnall did this apparently was to make more mystery to the Doctor, but give us more information. Anymore. Yeah, I mean, so now the Doctor
never asked these questions.
So now the Doctor's not Gallifreyan; she's something else. Okay, so tell me, are you going to explain this in the next season? Because I get the feeling you are, but I honestly don't want to know.
No, I just hope it is, like I said, that the Doctor wakes up in the TARDIS in the next episode. It's like, oh, thank God that was all a dream. I am just a normal person.
Yeah, I wish. I honestly hope that happens in a way. But, it's just so frustrating.
It's just like, it wasn't the best episode. It wasn't really a good finale. But I like the Master, and I like the Cyberman things. But,
yeah, I mean, Sacha Darwin's Master is honestly the best bit out of this entire season, and again, I'm trying to think of things, because there was some stuff I didn't mind in these last 2 episodes. I mean, there was some stuff, like there was some good shots, there was some good lines here and there, and there was some decent acting at points, but everything just reeks of half-baked ideas, half-baked concepts, half-baked. I'm rambling here, but I just feel like a lot of this stuff wasn't really needed. We didn't. If they were going to do.
And the bloody cat, the last person who blew up Gallifrey, I don't give a crap about him.
Yeah,
why was he the one who did it? And why wouldn't they just kill him when they had the chance?
Because they couldn't kill the Doctor off. But yeah, that entire thing with the Cybermen, I think part 1 in a way does kind of work in some areas, but when you introduce all this stuff with Gallifrey, it's like we don't give a shit about the other stuff. We want to focus on the Gallifrey stuff. This should have been a three-parter. The first two parts should have been about the Cybermen stuff and concluded it there, and then part 3 should have been all about the Master, all about Gallifrey. Keep the Time Lord Cybermen if you want to, but
take away the side characters. We don't need them.
Yeah.
And the Master's dead forever now.
No, because if you, I don't know if you caught that last bit, but when the planet's blowing up, you hear him say, "Quickly this way." So so the idea is that he's gone away,
rubbish.
and
he's on another TARDIS, isn't he?
Yeah, likely because he always escapes. Fair enough, because
that's fine. I like him, but
yeah,
no, he did not survive that.
Yeah.
But I like him. I do want him to come back.
I'll give them this. At least it explains partially how he can survive and come back.
They didn't explain where this Master came from, because they didn't talk about how Missy regenerated into him.
Yeah.
How about that? But that's fine. I don't really I don't need to know that. It's just something in the middle, and maybe this Master isn't even the after Missy Master.
I do like the idea that he's pre Howard Saxon, but I don't. At the same time, it's a bit hard
before Yana.
Yeah. Yeah, like maybe he's from the Time War era, but again, I can't really think of how that would work canonically because I can't think of where he would fit in.
But that'd be such a weird timeline because you get Yana with David Tennant, and then it's Missy with Peter Capaldi, but then Harold Saxon with Peter Capaldi, and then pre-Yana with Jodie. That'd be like
timelines.
Wobbly.
Yeah, and so I guess for a final, did you think it was okay? I guess.
It was alright. There were some good bits in it, like all the Master stuff. I think is pretty good, and I don't mind the Cyberman stuff. It's just the execution of the Gallifreyan lore is a bit naff. That could have been better.
Yeah.
Or just not included.
Yeah.
Or included in a different way.
I mean, here's the thing. I would have loved it if the reveal was not the Time Lost Child, wasn't the Doctor, but it was just a random Gallifreyan, making an original character, and then season 12 and God knows whatever you want to do next could have been about the Doctor trying to find the Timeless Child. Because how cool would that be? The Doctor's trying to find out the source of Gallifrey.
Do you reckon if the Timeless Child, if that was an actual thing, the Timeless Child would be a villain or would be like a sort of overlord?
I don't know. I'd like to think the cool idea, if that was the case, was that the Doctor would they would be antagonistic. There would be I mean, again, there's many directions you can take with that story, and I do kind of gravitate to the idea that the Timeless Child would probably resent the people that took advantage of her, and in this case, the Doctor as well. And then maybe there can be this whole cool 2 or 3-parter where it's them two trying to figure out what to do. And heck, they can maybe make the Timeless Child a companion of the Doctor if they want to do like that.
Nah, that would be too much.
Nah, I know, but it's a cool, almost Romana-esque inspiration thing you could have done. But I mean, I just think this is almost kind of like Hellbent. I mean, I wanted to make an entire video separate to this, but I might as well just say it now because I don't know if we're ever going to get around to that stuff. And if I'm honest, I've also kind of lost interest in Doctor Who too. But I think the big plump with Doctor Who in the last few years began with season 9, and that has a big full of problems. But the main thing was the handling of the revealing that Gallifrey was found, and they didn't really focus on it at all. And I feel like how cool
that was such a pointless thing.
Yeah, because Moffat wanted to close it with his era, and then he decided to come back next season. But how cool that season 9 should have been about the Doctor trying to find Gallifrey. Season 10 should have continued that, and then he could have concluded it then, maybe. And then come season 11 and 12, we could have maybe explored Gallifrey in its current state, caught up with classic companions and Time Lord Gallifreyan characters, seeing where they are in the new world, and then they could have maybe introduced the concept of the Timeless Child, and then, as I said earlier, it could have been, okay, the Doctor found out how Gallifrey was created. Now he needs to find this child.
Yeah, it could be back to how it was in the classic era where Gallifrey was just there.
Yeah, it makes so much more sense to do it that direction, especially when you set up in the 50th, which was a big thing that, you need to find Gallifrey now. Now it all just feels like it's just back, and now it's gone. It's just wasted. Also, you can get back to the status quo, I guess. No, god damn it, no. So I do find it amazing how it's got to this point again. And it's also sort of in a similar way.
I'm so surprised that the BBC haven't fired Chibnall.
Yeah, it's just
Get rid of him, man.
yeah. Your identity politics is not helping the story. Your choice of actors and characters and development is just not helping the show. And who knows? Considering the current state of film and TV being affected by this year's events, maybe they're taking a long hard look at what they've done so far, and they'll maybe fix it in the next season. But I honestly don't know what they could do, because they're either going to do two things. They're either going to continue with the plan and reveal maybe where the Doctor comes from, more about Taylor or whatever her name is. And did you hear that? Apparently, there's a fan theory going around recently that might be Rassilon.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, they might reveal more about that in the next season, which Chibnall did hint before that might be what they're doing.
Yeah, or just a big old retcon.
Yeah, but always going to be a big retcon.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't know. I almost want them to do the retcon, do the Rise of Skywalker thing, where they go out of their way to say, yeah, here's this. We're so sorry.
I am Dr. Skywalker.
Yeah.
No, you're not. Go back to your bloody sand.
Because regardless of what they do, it's still going to be here, and it's still a stupid idea from the beginning. So I don't know. I will always have a passion for Doctor Who, but I have not.
Doctor Who.
Old Doctor Who, yeah. I fell out of love with it in Series 11, as our review, as you can see in our review. But I had some hope lingering that they could fix it with this season, and they didn't. They really didn't. I mean,
yeah, I was looking forward to it from the trailer. I was like, oh look, Stephen Fry's in it, the Master's in it. It's gonna be such a good season. Oh no, it's really shit.
Yeah, no, not good, not great character development. Yaz hardly did much, and then
character development. There was no character development.
Yeah, and then they tried to build her up as the best of best.
She didn't deserve any of what she got, and neither. Oh fuck's sake.
Yeah, and the fact that she's gonna be the next big companion after Bradley and Tossin leave. It's just...
The companions never do well after 2 series. 2 series is the maximum you need, because all of David Tennant's companions only had 1 series each, except for Rose, and she only had 2, and she was like the best companion of the revival, and she only had 2 seasons. So they only need 2 series. If you have more than 2 series, you know this from Clara. If you have more than 2 series, the character just turns shit. And this character already is shit from the first season, and they're bringing her back for the 3rd one. It's like, come on, man, we don't need another one.
Yeah, I disagree, because I do think that you can do more, but I just
there hasn't been an example of a good companion lasting more than 2 series.
That is true. But I just do think that Yaz, sort of similar to Clara, she started off very weak, because you didn't get a grasp of her character. She was just there for the surrogate companion, and with all the traits of, oh, Clara loves the Doctor, oh, Yaz looks up to the Doctor. Yeah, where's the development? And then throughout season 12, they have two big points I can think of that gave her a bit of interest, which was in the first episode of the Spyfall episode, where she actually breaks down, where she gets a bit scared. And then there was that episode with the ears, the weird episode of the ears.
I didn't watch that one.
Yeah. But even then, it was you've done that out of 20 episodes you've done so far this season. It's the only episode kind of delved a bit into her backstory and her character, and even then that wasn't really good. So yeah, I don't buy that she's this dedicated or this driven. No.
The Bradley Walsh thing was so undeserved.
That wonderful speech that Bradley gave, that should have been given to him.
Yeah, from the Doctor.
Yeah. Yeah, and the bloody... Oh, that stupid thing with Jodie. I'm thinking of that scene where he talked about his cancer to Jodie and she just pushed it off.
Yeah, no.
That was just like, fuck off. That is not the Doctor. That is not what the Doctor would do. No. Regardless of any other generation. But yeah, I think you can tell.
Speaking of generation, where's the... What's the...
Jo Martin?
Yeah, where's her Doctor come into it?
We don't know. The implication, again, is that the Doctor's had multiple lives pre-Hartnell, and she's just among them. Again, I really don't care, because that's not something the Doctor needed. You don't need to give him this very depth backstory about, he's had multiple lives, because one, that makes it confusing, but 2, it messes up the number and the legacy of the first Doctor all the way through to the current Doctor. And sure, John Hurt was the War Doctor, but you can almost give that a pass because it was the 50th. Eccleston wasn't cooperating to come back as the 9th, and it's John Hurt. He's an amazing actor. He's great with the part he had. He was actually a good written Doctor, and fuck it was a big occasion, and it paid off with good directions for the show to go.
And it was
what has this done?
A one-off. It was a one-off. It's this one Doctor is in the thing. It's not like there's a million other Doctors and you have all the lives, and she was the first Time Lord and she's the reason why all Time Lords can regenerate. No, we don't need that.
No,
it's too much. But I have a really interesting point in my head. Continue talking. I'll think about the point.
Yeah, what is this going to do for the show in the long run? Because it's gone in a direction that no one's really happy with.
Mm-hmm.
If you try and fix it, thank you, you're at least taking responsibility. But
That's
still,
it.
you fucked
That's
it.
I was thinking about the Joe Martin Doctor and how that could have fit in, like without it messing up the canon. And they could have had some sort of they could have even used that portal thing, like how this is the Doctor, but it's a Doctor from a different like reality or something like that. So I don't know, something weird where it's like it doesn't actually mess up our current Doctor, the line, but is another Doctor from a different universe where there was never a time war or something like that, or something where there has been other Doctors, but a completely separate entity. Idea I literally just came up with. So
Yeah, because people have theorised that when Joe Martin was revealed as a Doctor, but Chibnall came out saying that she's not from Parallel Universe.
Yeah.
But again, he could be lying, and honestly, I'd be happy with that explanation because at least that would go back and fix it. But it's
the whole Matrix thing with the Master could have just been like a big old ruse.
Yeah. I mean, heck, the Master's done crazy stuff, so I'm willing to disbelieve that at least. Because, I mean, Doctor Who can go in many avenues, and I'm not saying they should stick to simple stuff, but you've got to pick your battles. And the Doctor's origins, it's not something that we never really asked for.
Yeah, we never wanted it.
Yeah, I mean, again, reiterating, I love the idea of you see the Doctor's life through this kind of visual filter of Brendan. And that's interesting because it sort of give you an idea. Because I do love the idea of the Doctor having a simple childhood, where he was just a normal Gallifreyan who grew up but grew curious. So I actually liked that idea when I first watched part 1, at least. And again, I kind of figured out from the beginning, this is the Doctor. It's got to be the Doctor. But to then reveal that
that wasn't even on Gallifrey. Like that was an island.
Yeah, people.
Like what?
I remember people saying, "Oh, is this Gallifrey in the Dark Ages where it was conveniently looked like England or something?"
Well, where everyone is Irish and they are Irish.
Irish, yeah, in Ireland. But no. Thank God they didn't do that. But still, the final result did not help.
I still think people. It's like the Cursed Child. It's like it's not canon. That's not. We don't consider this canon. It's like, that's not canon. The Doctor grew up in Gallifrey with his master. And William Hartnell was the first Doctor.
Yeah.
Leave it alone.
That's my Bible there. And honestly, after that episode, I thought, yeah, from this point on, anything after Capaldi is not canon.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking forward to when we get the next Doctor.
How about the next Doctor? Oh, that'd be so funny if they take the piss massively and it will piss off Jodie Whittaker. If in the beginning of the next series it starts off as Pete Capaldi regenerating again, and it's just instead of regenerating into Jodie Whittaker, it's someone else.
Yeah, and he just Jodie starts regenerating, and then it zooms out to Peter's eye, and it's like, oh no,
Yeah, it's like,
no, I will not become that.
I refuse. That'd be funny. And then regeneration turns blue. Sorry. Wow.
Yeah, I do like the idea of them maybe changing regeneration up because again, I'm sort of getting bored of the orange blow up.
Yeah, but it'd
thing.
be weird if that's why I thought it was really weird when Peter Capaldi changed or Matt Smith changed into Capaldi because it was like sneeze, and then they changed. But because you can't change stuff like that. Like they sort of changed it each series, but a little bit, but
not too much, I guess. But little change is good.
Well, it's depending on what the budget for the VFX is. That's why it changes. But I don't think that should change. That's fine.
Yeah, I think
get that after that.
The only good thing about this era so far is that the budget's increased, so you've got some good CGI at points.
I agree with that. Like the ships, the Cyberman ships, they look cool. They look good.
Yeah, it's a vast improvement over the fake leaves that we got from the pilot. But yeah, remember in Bill's first episode, they go to an alien planet, which is literally just a desert, but they have very alien-looking plants in the background, but they're clearly so CGI. It's like, oh wow.
Really? I never noticed that. Which planet?
It's literally a throwaway scene for them because they're escaping the water creature.
Which episode was that?
The first episode with Bill and Nardole. Season 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm sure
I don't remember the planet.
You'll think of it.
I'll see it. I'll watch it. I'll rewatch it and have a look for it.
Yeah, but you can tell past the 50th, the Doctor Who budget kind of went down the drain.
Yeah.
And I remember people thinking, yeah, after all that money you made with the 50th, I'm wondering, where did that money go? But yeah, they definitely stepped their game up for this era. But that's about it, because the storytelling went out the window.
I mean, it's if something stays the same for too long in Doctor Who, it just turns rubbish. Like Moffat staying for so long with Doctor Who, it just sort of turned a bit naff. And then this companion staying on, but it's funny with the new stuff actually. With like old Who with like David Tennant and stuff like that with Russell T Davies, if it stayed for too long, it got a bit rubbish. With this one, if it starts rubbish and it just gets worse progressively. Yeah. Like Trubin was writing, the companions, the Doctor. I don't like anything in this new series except for the Master. The Master's the only new thing I like about this season 11 and 12, because the writing's rubbish, the stories are rubbish, the Doctor's rubbish, the TARDIS looks rubbish, the companions are rubbish except for Bradley Walsh. What else is rubbish? I'm sure there's something else, but it's just everything's kind of just rubbish except for the Master.
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah, and I will come to his defense. Jack Harkness, seeing him back was quite nice.
I don't like that because it was such a throwaway rubbish part, and he looks weird because like his hair was obvious because he's grey now. Obviously, it was dyed, and it just looked wrong. And his face is because he's old now and he's had some work done. It looks wrong, and he's just wearing exactly the same clothes. Change it up a bit.
Yeah, I gotta admit, the entire point. I mean, that's another thing I think I talked to you about before we watched this episode. Is remember that scene because nothing comes of it. Because his warning to the Doctor is just about be wary of this thing that's coming.
How the fuck does he know that?
Yeah, where's he in all this? Because you'd think
bring him back. At least let him see the Doctor.
Yeah, that kind of setup. You'd think, they're setting him to appear in the final. That would make sense, but
yeah,
no.
I thought that was going to happen. I forgot about that.
No, and the theory going around right now, at least, is that the Christmas special was gonna, because we know the Christmas special was already filmed before this all happened.
Oh.
And
bloody hell, that's still happening.
Yeah, it's coming out this December.
Okay.
But the people think that what's going to happen is that because we know the Daleks are involved again, because of course.
Oh, did you do?
And yeah, but what the theory going around is that the Daleks, there's going to be two storylines: one on Earth with the Daleks and presumably the companions, and the other with the Doctor in the prison.
Fucking doing that. They need to stop doing the two different storylines. It never works.
But yeah, people think that Jack's going to be at the prison, and the entire episode's going to be about the Doctor and Jack trying to get off the planet. And I do like that idea.
I just thought of how they could have made the finale better. Jack should have been the dude instead of Barristan Selmy, and he should have pressed the button to kill everyone and then just come back to life because it's Jack.
Yeah, that would have worked.
That would have been such a good thing because then it's like a character that we care about, that we've had, that has the legacy that it deserves to do what it did, and Jack has got reason to hate the Master because of what happened in
God damn it
episode. So, and they brought it back for this series. They could have easily just done that.
God damn it, BBC! Hire this guy.
Well, no, don't do that. I just have some sort of brainwaves every now and again.
You're good. We're ideas, men. God damn it, we need to be at the BBC to give them my bloody ideas because they clearly don't have any.
There's so many simple things they could do that they just don't, and they make everything much more complicated than it is, and they hire the wrong people.
Yeah, I really do hope if they are gonna do this, I really hope Jack comes back in the next series as well as just like a recurring character, or heck, make him a co-companion, because he's at least something I can enjoy to watch.
And if he comes back in, they have to bloody bring back Murray Gold to do the music, so they have the Torchwood theme whenever Jack's on.
Yeah,
that's a good theme.
Yeah, but Torchwood needs to come back, but
I don't know about that.
I still think that it should get an official ending, because the cliffhanger in season 4 was terrible.
Don't they still do the audiobooks?
They do, but so far, from what I'm aware, at least they don't directly continue the story. So it's almost like, that's something we can explain later on. But yeah, I think it's clear from this video. I've lost my interest in Doctor Who. I'll still love it, but I'm waiting for the day when they'll bring in the new showrunner and the new Doctor, and maybe hopefully reinvent everything that happened in this last era. Because I'm sorry, I do appreciate Jodie as an actor, and I love her in Broadchurch, some other stuff. I love her in Attack the Block too.
But she's not the Doctor.
No, they didn't write her as the Doctor. She's not Ray level bad, but she's clearly not giving her all. I guess that makes sense. She's clearly she's not got a range. They don't give her range.
Something a bit off.
And the companions too. I fucking hate that we're losing Bradley Welsh this year.
No.
He's the only good thing we've had so far.
If they lose all three of them, that's fine. But they're losing the two better ones and the rubbish one.
Yeah. I mean, Tosin, fair enough, he's a decent actor. He's clearly going to do stuff, that's why he's leaving.
Yeah.
But even he didn't do much this season outside of a few scenes that kind of hint that he's leaving. But that wasn't much. God damn, Yaz.
Do you reckon they're going to die? They're just getting killed by the Daleks?
I don't think so, because honestly, I think I'd like to think that the BBC are aware that, these are the only two characters that sort of have a connection with the audience. So if we kill them off, we're just going to make people more annoyed. I think they're just going to walk away.
Yeah, they're trying to make Doctor Who bad so that people just stop, so they can stop making it.
Ugh, that would be I'd take that over poor SJWs just trying to cater to their audience, but yeah, it's just...
Have you seen that the design for the new Dalek?
I haven't.
It's the same as the old Dalek. Like, not the old Dalek, it's the same as the one from the New Year's special.
Really?
The shit one that's supposed to be made out of rubbish. It's that design, but black.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a bit stupid. They just do another cool design, like the Cyberman, like they did for that.
I liked the Cyberman design.
Yeah,
but...
the new one.
Yeah.
Actually, I kind of wish they had the lone Cyberman design, but for the rest of them, because you didn't see like a sort of silver one of them. You just saw that one. Because that was a cool, like the head was different and the like armor was different. That would have been cool. One to see.
Yeah, there's so much more they could have done.
Mm-hmm.
We got this instead.